Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday group call on the speakerfocus.com platform. I am CEO Kevin T. Robertson, proud to be here every single Monday, giving you all the insight scoops on how to grow your speaker business, how you should be moving in the marketplace. I'm here with CTO, Mr. Auston Troyer, to answer any technical questions that you may have on the Speaker Focus platform. On behalf of the rest of the team at Speaker Focus, we are so excited to be in a position for another Monday group call. If you have a question, don't forget to use the raise hand feature, or if you want to put your question in the chat box, we will be happy to get to you in order, and we will be happy to answer your questions in detail. As I'm waiting for the room to fill up, I have a thought, and I always like to start the Monday group call out with a great thought. And the thought is timing. Do you feel like the timing is right to start educating yourself in a different way so that you are properly positioning yourself to share your brand with the world in the months to come? Because if you're not paying attention, if you hadn't noticed that there is a big shift happening in the world right now, millions of people are getting vaccinated every single day. And what I've been talking about for months and months and months, it is important that you pay attention to what's going on around you. Events event planners are doing events. They are putting events up on the site. Events are selling out within an hour. The bigger venues are starting to attract more companies and more people that want to have events at these venues. I talk to meeting planners every single day. I talk to people in the banquet, the catering department, people who are on site at Mandalay Bay and Las Vegas, people on site at MGM Grand, people at the conference centers globally. It's something different happening right now. And your speaker business should be prepared, excuse me, to do business with these type of facilities. Now, it's going to be some conference coordinators who are going to be a little apprehensive, obviously, and they're not going to want to do events for another year, another 2 years maybe. But guess what? They still got to provide training. Training in some industries is mandatory. Leadership training is mandatory, especially for the companies who really, really want to take care of their employees. And right now, you just have so many things going wrong in people's lives. This pandemic has caused a sedentary lifestyle, and people have bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. They have anxiety. They have a litany of other challenges that they're dealing with every single day. And who is the bailout person who can polish up their mindset, give them some tips, some tools, some strategies, some techniques? Who is the person who can do that? That is the speaker, coach, or consultant. These are the people who have a specific level of skill. As we do on our platform, we do business with them all, from soccer moms to Super Bowl champions, high profile, high net worth athletes, celebrities, entertainers. We do business with administrators, teachers, educators, doctors, attorneys, yoga instructors, people who practice internal medicine, people who are herbalists and natural homeopathic healers, energy alignment experts, tarot card readers. We got them all on our platform. And every time I talk to one of them, they want to talk about the story and the messaging. And the messaging, without a doubt, is the foundational piece that is getting your speaker business ready for the biggest wealth shift in the history of our business. We're going through it right now, and it's going to last a long time. Mark my words. Mark my words. This is going to last for years and years and years. You know why? Because remember, your messaging, it's the perfect timing for your message. So whoever you are, remember, leadership is the cash cow. So lead with leadership, your topics, and then share your expertise. Anybody have a question? Please use the raise hand feature and I will get right to you. Yes, Alex, I would love to do a IG live with Trevor. This week is good if it's towards the end of the week. Remember, if it's before 10 a.m. Eastern, I would love to do an IG live with Trevor. Please hook that up. We can make that happen like it's nothing. Just send me an email like you always do, and we can make that happen. 9 a.m. my time is always a good time. Now, anybody have any questions about how to grow your speaker business? Joseph, I see Joseph with the first hand up. Let's go ahead and allow Joseph to talk. Joseph, you there?
Let's see.
There
Yep,
we go.
I'm here.
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on in sunny Florida, boss?
I'm actually up in New York now.
Ah, come on, man. It's too cold up there. When you going back home? I'm messing with you. Actually, the weather's pretty good. Pretty good on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful today.
Yeah.
Here's my question is about the 4 signature programs.
Yes, sir.
Now the 4 signature programs are, I know it's important to have them separated out, but when you actually do the talks, do they overlap? You know, as far as the content that you're talking about, or they have to be completely different?
Well, in your case, Joseph, you're in the you're getting people aligned with their energy through your yoga, through meditation, things of that nature. Obviously, it all kind of transcends, with the spirit, the mind, the body, the soul. Obviously, it all kind of interconnects and goes together. And but I would say have some distinction between each one so they all don't sound alike. From a marketing perspective, just make sure what I'll be checking when you send over the signature programs is to make sure that we don't have any word redundancies. Make sure that if you have alignment-based leadership versus energy-based leadership, you just want to make sure that you're not talking about the same exact thing under each of the categories. But you can keep them close, but it's got to be some type of separation. You got it?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. How you coming along with your signature programs, by the way? I know you've been on the
Good.
phone line. I know you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, good. I sent you an email a few days ago.
Yeah, exactly. You had to hold on. You sent me an email with the updated signature programs?
Yeah, yep.
I was just looking at your bio. Can you do me a favor? Because I missed that and I apologize. Yeah. Can you resend the signature programs again? Because I just thought I saw your bio.
Nope, I'll resend it.
Yeah, unless I looked at that wrong. Yeah, resend it. I'll check it tonight. I should have some feedback for you at least by tomorrow morning or the next day.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. You doing good other than that?
Yeah, yep. All's well.
Okay, good, man. Good. Hey, man, stay focused, stay in the game. And once I get some feedback, let's move on to the next assignment.
Yep.
Okay,
absolutely.
Bob. Talk to you real soon. Okay. You know what I love about this platform? I love it when I have a gentleman like Joseph that is, we hit it off right off the break. Super cool. He knew what he was missing for his speaker business. And Michelle, I'll be right with you, by the way. I see your hand up. And what I like about Joseph is that he knows that he had a message and he knows what was missing in his business model. And then on top of that, he's he's very successful. So for him to pump his brakes and slow down to say, I need to incorporate this speaking piece is not only smart, but remember this. And I want to say this because this is going to sound different, but I like being different. And here's the piece that's different. You don't really have to be good at speaking to be a speaker. The conference coordinator is really not trying to hire a speaker. What they want is the boss man or the boss lady. They want the CEO. Phil Knight from Nike is not the best speaker in the world. But I tell you what, he can tell you about entrepreneurism. He can get up on stage and tell his story of how he used to hustle those Nike shoes out the back of his car in Oregon and how they got $1 billion brand, right? Multi-billion-dollar brand globally. Let me say that again. You don't have to really be a speaker to be a speaker. And you know why? Because see, it's another shift that's happening. See, it's a lot of saturation going on with everybody, quote unquote. You got a bunch of motivational, inspirational speakers calling themselves that who can't speak because they don't know shit about marketing. Let me say it again. You don't have to be a speaker to speak. See, there's another wave that's going on right now. Everybody and your mother thinks that they could be a speaker, coach, or consultant, especially a coach. You got a lot of coaches who don't know shit about coaching. You got a lot of consulting. They couldn't tell you what to do to grow your business if you put $1 million worth of real cash on the table. It's a lot of what in the system. It's a lot of bullshit in the system. But there's very few people that can actually teach you how to do it. Now, is that an advantage for you right now on the Speaker Focus platform? Because you're being taught how to grow your business the right way. So this ain't about you being a speaker. This is about you being a professional first. Maybe it's about you being a good family person first. Maybe it's about you being a great humanitarian. Me, forget about all these other titles and shit. I love serving people. And that's the reason why I earn high revenue. Because if you're not about the service piece, see, now watch this. You don't have to be a speaker to speak. Listen to me. Because in order to serve people, you got to have strong messaging. They call it a service promise. I call it a service guarantee. I don't promise you shit. I don't make promises are made to be broken. I don't use that kind of verbiage. I make guarantees. This is what I know I can deliver to the client. How about you? Are you delivering that through your messaging? You don't have to be a speaker to speak. Coaches and consultants are trying to speak. You know why? Because they see it. More coaches and consultants have more value in their messaging. You want me to tell you why? Because most coaches and consultants, they already have written out a curriculum. Most of the coaches on our platform, just like Joseph, they already had success before they came along, but they're looking to add that speaking piece. Remember, let me tell you about the golden triangle system. No, this is not the Rockefeller Records Jay-Z sign I'm throwing up right now. This is the golden triangle system. Speaking, coaching, and consulting. Speaking, coaching, and consulting. For a lot of you who are already coaching and consulting, all you're doing is adding the speaking. You're just adding the speaking. But the coach and the consultants, they are real teachers. A lot of them are real facilitators. They know how to transfer knowledge at an extremely high level. They know how to write curriculum. They know how to design signature programs. The reason why it's so easy for us to work with them and it's an easy plug-in on the Speaker Focus platform and they follow our system is because essentially what we do is we take your ideology and your approach and we just turn it into high-powered speaking topics. See, if you notice on the Monday group call, every last one of you got to go to the bottom of the hill, no matter how much level of skill that you have, and you all got to ask questions about the signature programs. You don't have to be a speaker to speak, but you damn sure got to have some value in your messaging. Let me get to Michelle. It's always a pleasure talking to her. Michelle, are you there?
I think I am.
Hi, Michelle. How are you today?
So I have a quick question. I know we, maybe not last week, week before last, you were talking about, as you look to get out there and do more speaking and what have you. And I just wanted to get your take on, there is a group and, someone reached out to me and I thought, oh, this would be a great opportunity to get out there and speak. But what I found was you have to pay your money to speak on their platform. So I'm thinking, well, what am I getting out of this? And then part of me was like, well, maybe I should have done it just because it gets you out there. So I just wanted to find out what your take on that is, or have you ever experienced that?
Yes, great question, Michelle. Great question. And I get approached with opportunities like that all the time, just like I'm sure a lot of you do. Now, Michelle, here's what's happening. Remember at the beginning of the call, I talked about a shift that's happening. Like this whole business has been shifting online. See, the reason why you have these opportunities popping up, because people have learned how to make money online. See, this wasn't real prominent, 5, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. But now here's what's happening. You may get somebody to reach out to you that, and I get about 5 or 10 of these a week. Somebody wants you to be on their podcast. They have, and they got all the back end set up, Michelle. And for all of you, if any of you have been approached like this before, just put it in the chat box, because I like to keep track of stuff like this. But if you haven't, here's what's going to start happening when you get your brand out there and you get your name out there, and you show up on some social media networking platforms, and somebody will go to your profile and say, oh, they're a speaker. Well, guess what? They look at you like an opportunity, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, Michelle, what's happening is you have people that they have a podcast. Mm-hmm. Now they want you to be a guest. They say, hey, this is typically what the landing page looks like. Hey, I've done over 3,000 interviews. We interview business professionals and we showcase their business, They're scrolling through your LinkedIn profile. When you have speaker in there, then they're going to reach out to you. They're scrolling through your Instagram profile. You can get on their radar in a multitude of ways. So they have the free, okay, you can do a free interview. Let me interview you first. Now it starts feeling good when you get interviewed about your subject matter expertise, Michelle. But then they have the part that's paid. They want you to pay to be a podcast partner, is what they call it. Now you can get into, okay, you may pay $3,000. The one that the guy sent me the other day, because I look at all these landing pages because I want to break down their marketing. And me and Austin, we hack into everybody's marketing. We just want to see how it's put together. Mm-hmm. So then it's a part on there that says, do you need help with digital marketing? Do you need help building a website? And then these are a lot of done for you services, but they have a menu of this kind of stuff. And you can just go down the tiers, Michelle. You can say, well, watch this. A lot of it is doing a paid podcast interview to be a promotional partner. That may cost you $1,000. Mm-hmm. So now you're like, okay, well, if I pay $1,000, now they'll tell you it's going to be on Apple and iTunes. That gives you another sellable link. Mm-hmm. So watch this. If you're sitting on some money, Michelle, and I'm not talking about you in specific, but if you're in the marketplace and you're sitting on money and you want to literally, you can control the narrative. There are so many online magazines right now that's looking for content. And as soon as you let them do an interview on you, you got another link on your, on a Google search where people start doing all their due diligence on you. And then the other one, Michelle, to answer your question, this is putting the cherry on top of everything, because now what you see is an explosion of paid speaking opportunities, because there's so many people wanting to get online. Michelle, what you're seeing right now, it's like trying to force a football through a garden hose. And it's bottlenecking. Right. But it's a bunch of noise in the system. So now you got people saying, okay, since there's so many people that want to speak. Now, these people that are marketing these programs, they don't really care whether or not you have a good message or not. That's not their job. Like Speaker Focus, to help you with the messaging and the marketing. Their job is just to create opportunities for speakers. So now I could go on StreamYard and set up a conference. I could do a conference next month. I could promote the conference, and I could do an ad if I wanted to. Me and Austin could set this up right now and do an ad. I guarantee you we have 1,000 speakers paying us $250 just to sign up for a registration fee to get on our platform.
Wow. Okay.
It's so easy to do. That is a real business. So people are making money off of paid podcast interviews. They're making money off creating a staging platform for you. Now, it's nothing wrong with paying for that. If you're going to watch this, Michelle, I'd pay $250 if they're going to print me up some nice promo graphics. If I'm speaking on the same program with some other big name speakers, you know what you can do? You can take all of that marketing and put it into your marketing collateral. And if you don't really have a brand, and the fastest way for you to build your brand and make it stronger is to be seen with other speakers that already have a brand. So there's some yeses. Okay. That I would say yes. And then there's some no's. I'm not knocking anybody that's creating paid speaking opportunities. I would just say step gingerly and choose wisely if you're going to do that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I kind of thought about it because I thought, well, this could be a great opportunity. And I thought, well, wait a minute, you reached out to me, but you want me to pay to speak on your platform. I don't, that's usually not how it works. That's why I was just asking.
Right. Exactly.
I've never heard of that.
Typically, it's not how it works. Right. But remember, people have access to information.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they get you into their sales funnel. We're no different. We just got a different product, but now everybody got to hustle. Since everybody wants to be a speaker now, since everybody wants to be a coach or consultant, wouldn't it be a good idea to create a product for speakers, coaches, and consultants?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Michelle, even with us, we have seen a massive insurgence. When I say I'm talking about, it's like almost like somebody is trying to overthrow the government. It's an insurgence of coaches and consultants like I've never seen before joining our platform. You know why that is? Because inside of every coach or consultant, there's a speaker just waiting to get out, but they don't know how to do the speaker business. And that's why they come to us. So eventually, either our retargeting ad through Facebook or YouTube is going to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a free organic outreach strategy. You know, maybe it's something from one of the other strategies that we utilize to get you on our radar. And once you're in the funnel, now, remember, Michelle, a list is an asset.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to build your list, have people opt in to your list. And then now you're going to work that list with, you're going to be sending out, like we send out a email to our list every Monday. Every single time I write copy and Austin and the tech team sends it out, the schedule gets full of calls. You know why? Because I'm creating top of mind awareness. Every time Austin and the tech team send out a retargeting ad, it shows up in their Facebook inbox. It shows up on their YouTube pre-roll ad. All that retargeting, you know what we're doing? Staying top of mind. For the people 6 months ago that didn't have money. For the people a year ago that's still thinking about the conversation that I had with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're starting to come into the program. You see, all you're doing is depositing money, and you're depositing into relationships. And that's really what makes you money as a professional speaker. So Michelle, if you feel like the opportunity, I know you might have, it's kind of weird. It doesn't feel right. Like I got to pay you to speak. But I tell you this, if you're going to have a bomb speaker video demo afterwards, and you remember, you get a chance to control the content. So if you're creating if you're creating content and they want you to pay to speak, just make sure that the promotional side of it is worth it. Make sure you're going to get great video,
right.
promotional graphics. Make sure they're going to be promoting the event. Look at it and watch this. If any of you need us to look at any of those opportunities to help you assess whether or not it's going to be good for you on the other side, we have people sending me emails like that. They're starting to trickle in, Michelle, more and more people on our platform asking us the same question. So that's not a scam. That is a real business. People are creating events and having people pay to come speak because we're all online. Now, I don't know how long it's going to last because watch this, millions of people are getting vaccinated every single day. They just had 70,000 people in the AT&T Stadium for the Canelo Alvarez fight recently. I think that stadium holds twice as many. People are like, okay, they just passed a rule in many states where you could have the mask on when you walk into the restaurant or not. It's all on the business owner. So this stuff is changing real fast.
Right, that's true.
Real fast, okay?
Okay.
So if you got any thing you need us to look at, don't hesitate to email it over to me. I'm more than willing to help you make those kind of decisions and get involved in it and give you my professional opinion about it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, Michelle, talk to you real soon. Get to the next assignment, please.
Yes, I will do that.
You're doing an amazing job. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we got Terry.
One other thing, Kevin, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Troyer, go ahead.
Yeah, one other thing, another way to look at if you're paying for speaking, I'd recommend not paying for it. Just default into that unless you look at the audience of whoever this event or this podcast or whoever this essentially the platform that you're paying to speak on. Look at the audience, the type of audience. Does it fit your target customer? Like if it's an audience full of event planners, of course you're going to pay because you're going to see the return on that investment from, potential speaking engagements of that audience. Now, if it's an audience of, let's say children, it probably doesn't make sense to pay for it unless, Kevin mentioned maybe having, that recorded and you'd be able to use that for content. Now, there's just so many free opportunities to get you on stage or you speaking for free, or you don't have to pay, or you just get paid for it. So the content piece probably doesn't make sense to pay for that opportunity.
Mhm.
So unless you see the audience being your target customer, maybe you have a product outside of speaking. Maybe you do have like a physical product or a course or something like that, or consulting, where the audience you're speaking to could be an actual customer of your product. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to pay for speaking engagements. That's just my 2 cents.
I got you. And this is, thank you for sharing that, Austin. I believe that anytime Mr. Troyer adds something to the mix, it is definitely going to be something of value. And he has a great point. You know, you want to make sure what we're teaching you on this platform is to be very specific with your target and your niche. Remember, your target buyer is the person who is directly responsible for purchasing professional speaking services. That's the conference coordinator. That's the meeting chair or committee member. That's the key decision maker who books speakers. You have one goal. Now, watch this. I used to do something called a speaker showcase. Who was the target buyer sitting in my audience? A ballroom full of nothing but meeting planners. So whenever I did a speaker showcase and they wanted me to pay the expenses out of pocket to fly to Florida, fly to DC, fly to Vegas, I flew all over the place to do these speaker showcases because I got video out of it and I got bookings out of it. So Austin's right. If it's in your niche, if it serves you well on a promotional side, if you have the budget and you can afford it and it's reasonable, then I say do it. If not, you can forego it because you can speak for free on YouTube. You can control the narrative and build your own platform with doing a Facebook Live or IG Live. If you look at all these platforms, you can do all kinds of free speaking on your own. However, if it's going to help you with, if it's going to connect you with your target buyer, then do it. But speaking just to be speaking, no, we got strategy on this platform, and you should be very strategy oriented. You should be very strategy oriented. Remember, your messaging is going to a very specific target audience. You may be a leadership speaker, but you may be speaking at health and wellness conferences. You may be a leadership speaker, but also your niche is safety. So you could be speaking at safety conferences. You could be in the entertainment industry, but you could be brought in as a leadership speaker to speak about entertainment. There's so many niches and sub niches. You got to stay in your lane. Whatever you do best, that's what you need to be speaking about. That's what it all boils down to. So remember, real focus is concentrating on one thing at a time, one brand, one niche, and it will automatically raise the visibility of everything else. If there's one thing I learned by working with Austin, and I gave him my word, and this, well, guess what? The expiration date on my word is just about over, but I gave him my word when we first launched Speaker Focus that I would be dedicated to the platform and the students before I thought about going on tour again. And I've done that for almost 5 years. It's been hard. It's been hard to take this break, but I tell you this, I'm glad that I did it. I had one single focus, and that was create the best speaking product in the marketplace so that people wouldn't have to go through the stuff I went through for the first 7 years of my career. Specificity has its place, and it's when you are crafting your messaging. This is why I don't tolerate no bullshit when y'all send me your signature programs back and you going all over the place. Generalists don't make a lot of money in this industry. If you're going to be a generalist, what is a generalist? A motivational, inspirational speaker, a person who claims they can talk about everything. No, you can't talk about everything. I know what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know. But I tell you this, I may not know about a whole lot, but I know about leadership. I know how to teach your ass how to take action. I bet you I know that. I know how to get results. I know how to create a to-do list, and I know how to get all the resources together in order to get everything scratched off your to-do list. I bet you I know how to do that. I know any and everything about how to build a speaker business, how to get it to make money, how to present it the right way, how to put the $35,000 paint job on the out. I know everything about that. And if it's outside of that, I don't give a damn about it. The more you focus on one thing, the better off you're going to be. And those are the things that we're teaching you on this platform. As always, Auston, thank you so much for that. See, when you see, Auston has a different perspective. This is why this is a beautiful world, because if we all thought alike and we all had the same perspective, we all be driving our Ferrari off the cliff without a parachute. You need somebody with a different perspective. We need a different take on things. So, Lisa, I'll be right with you. I believe Terry had her hand up. So Terry, you are live with KTR. Terry, how are you this evening?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for your email this morning. I appreciate the accountability. So yeah, I'm working on the 4 signature programs, and really the specificity is what I wanted to talk about. So you just mentioned it right before I was about to talk about it. So I don't know if this is my first call. I don't know if this is the call where I should ask about specifics. Like, because I want to know if my 4 topics are specific enough, like, focused enough on a certain area. Because I feel like, I do life coaching. So I want to make sure I'm really focused on leadership and that all the programs are cohesive. So I don't know if this is the call to kind of get feedback on that, or if I should just send you the specifics and then you give me the feedback, like in
Terry,
email.
Well, Terry, always remember that you're more than welcome to share whatever you like on the group call, and I will give you feedback right here, right now. Some people show up on the group call because they just want the connection. They want to hear what everybody else is talking about. They take notes and things of that nature. Or if you want me to share my thoughts and you just want it to be more private offline, I can send it to you through the email like I did, and I will give you real specific feedback about how to improve them. Now, what I can do, if you want to talk about it, is I can help you clarify the direction, because this is an ongoing problem that many speakers have on our platform. Terry, and I can tell you, this is probably why it happens. Because, Terry, you're like many people on our platform. You got the overachiever gene built in your DNA, and you're very talented. And when you're multi-talented, sometimes what happens is we end up overthinking things, and we say, okay, I got like 5 talents, but which one of them in the coaching do I want to really bring out? Remember, focusing on one thing, one topic. And that's why I always tell people the basis of whatever it is you talk about is leadership. Remember, that's the cash cow. That is the most requested and bookable topic out of conferences, corporate meetings, and events worldwide. But Terry, it doesn't mean that you're not going to still be able to talk about your niche. Leadership is like your Trojan horse, is going to get you through the door. I'm just saying that leadership is going to open up doors for you. Then they're going to say, okay, well, Terry's a leadership speaker, but then here's where it gets real specific, Terry. Now, under the coaching, remember, and in your case, what we're doing is essentially converting the coaching curriculum and ideology into high-powered speaking topics. So think about what you're passionate about. Now, we could discuss that, or you could send it to me. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll just tell you. So the 4 that I was thinking of, so the first one's intuition-based leadership.
I love it.
And I like what Joseph said. He had a great question. And I'm not going to just take his, but I do like that alignment-based leadership. But my second one was cultivating a positive attitude, self-mastery for success. And then I don't know the word I'm going to use, but it's kind of cultivating teamwork for goal achieving.
I love it. I love it. Now watch this. This is something that's real unique and real specific to your brand. See, I like word sequences that's disruptive. And I also like things that get your attention. So you could do cultivation-based leadership. See what I just did?
Okay. Yeah.
See, when you keep talking, what I'm listening for, my marketing ear, I'm listening like the conference coordinator. If I heard cultivation-based leadership, okay, what does she want us to cultivate?
I was just making sure.
So talk to me about that, Terry. What things do I need to cultivate? Don't give me the what, give me the how. How do you want me to cultivate? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, so cultivating a positive mindset. I mean, I don't even know. I think I got cultivate for now. I'm thinking about it. I like cultivate, basically like develop. So cultivating, developing.
If you don't want to do cultivate, then you could do developmental based leadership. See how that works?
Okay. Yeah. Mental based leadership. Okay, and should all 4 of them be like whatever based leadership? Is that kind of?
Yeah.
The way we're doing it?
Unless,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Unless you have a specific brand or something like that, and you want to build something around that word. Like my brand is focus, right? My brand is, focus based learning solutions. So what I do is all my programs are focus based instead of leadership based. Now I'm still talking about leadership, but I just do something to match my brand. Whenever you have something that's real unique, I'm just giving you the template because that's typically the type of topics that's going to get on the conference coordinator's radar to make them say, oh, wow, okay, developmental based leadership. Okay, let me read this opening paragraph. And then
Okay.
the verbiage in the opening paragraph, Terry, and the bullets, it's got to match your ideology. What I'm looking for when you send it over to me is I'm looking to see if did you get all your creative thoughts out. It doesn't need to be perfect. I don't want it to be perfect. I just want to know what your thoughts are. Oh, that's what she's trying to say right there. Then my job is just maybe put some polish on it. Hey, Terry, reword this. Hey, the opening paragraph wasn't strong enough. Hey, redo this, do that. By the time we go back and forth 2 or 3 times, your signature programs are done. And they're done in a way that makes sense to the conference coordinator that does represent your brand.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. So instead of maybe like cultivation-based leadership, instead of saying self-mastery for success, I'd say cultivation-based leadership. And then in my description or my highlight, pinpoints, then I would say one of it's self-mastery for success, like in my bullet.
Well, you could do that, but to be honest with you, I love self-mastery based leadership because how many people have mastery over themselves? You know what it takes?
That makes sense.
You know what it takes to do that? And see that fits. You talked about mindset. It takes discipline to have self-mastery. Just like it takes discipline to sit down and write those signature programs. Maybe you got to cut the TV off. I don't know. When I'm writing copy, I don't want to hear a bunch of noise. I got to be in my thoughts. Because being in line and being in alignment with my thoughts and focusing in on the messaging is going to get me the money. That's all I care about. I'm looking at your signature programs like the conference coordinator's looking at them. So this is never personal when I give feedback. I want you to be profitable and it's profit in the message. And that's why we start out with that in module 1. You got it? Terry, you still there? Oh, I think I lost her. Okay. All right. Okay, we got Lisa. Let me see. We got Lisa up next. Hey, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing super fantastic. Lisa, if Terry, I think she got
Booted off.
Yeah, I think we had a technical issue, even though we were on the back end of her call. If she hops back in, I'll just get to her after I finish your question. So,
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, what's your question tonight?
So I'm working on, as you know, my first signature program, and I know that you sent me an email back today with feedback on it, and I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I still wanted to ask this question because it seems like some of the other people this week and last week were kind of asking sort of the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Where I was getting stuck on the leadership name part of the program is not knowing how to make that resonate with a lot of the places I speak, which are churches and spiritual type settings.
Yes.
So I'm kind of getting stymied on that. Not everything I talk about is for that market, so to speak. And I have different topics, but that's where I'm getting stuck. So for the other people that are like that as well, where leadership, at least on the outset for us who are beginners, can't grasp, well, how does that fit in? For example, if I'm talking to kids, so I do a lot of work with kids on overcoming their life circumstances and things. So I'm stuck there, well, the word leadership, how is that going to appeal, for the teacher who's booking me or you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay, so Lisa, this is a continuous question that pops up on the platform all the time that could be very confusing. So I'm going to break it down to you. Remember, in module 2, I talk about the target buyer, conference coordinator, chair, board, committee member, person directly responsible for purchasing professional speaking services. Then I talk about the target market. Now, here's where it gets confusing because you have 6 target markets, basically. The youth market, speaking to kids, faith-based market, speaking to churches, government contracting market, college market, corporate and association market. Obviously, the corporate and association market pays the bigger fees. But Lisa, when you and I read your email, and I want you to read my feedback in specific. And this is basically what I said, that you have to, I would respectfully request that you choose one market, because when you start splitting the message, like let's say this, let's say you want to have a leadership message, which all leadership fits every market, then you're going to get into your niche. So, but if you want to be in the faith-based market, when you start, anytime you start talking about religion, politics, all it's going to do is split your audience in half. So then the message starts to become, you start to create friction between you and the conference coordinator. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
So what my goal is, so you don't create any friction with the conference coordinator. Being thought-provoking is one thing. Creating friction to make them say, I don't know if that message fits our market. And you will do that if you don't have a very specific market for the corporate and association market, or the faith-based market, or the youth market, speaking to kids. Now, I know you have an affinity to talk to kids, but I want you to keep this in mind. Lisa, shout out to the 80s and the old school. Everybody's from the 80s that loves 80s music like us. Shout out. We've come a long way since then. If you come from humble beginnings like most of us have, you get to a point in your life where you want to start getting paid. Am I correct?
Yes.
It's not all about the money, Lisa, but listen to me carefully, because this is a trap that most speakers fall into, and is a very dangerous one. I was stuck in motivational, inspirational speaking purgatory for the first 7 years of my career. That means I would take a check from anybody. I don't give a damn who it was. If it was a community center, a high school, the closer you get to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, they don't have a budget, or the budget's going to be really, really low. I'm talking facts. Out of my 2,700 plus paid speaking engagements, here's what I learned. And I'm going to keep this all the way 1,000 with you tonight, because I'm feeling extra special, Lisa, and I love you. The youth market, speaking to kids, when I got tired of getting checks for $250, $350, $750, $600, inconsistent income, lapses in income, empty calendar with no bookings in sight. The principal wants me to come speak for free. Kevin, can you come in and speak at our youth day, career day, education day? I got sick of it. When I spoke at the bigger conferences in the youth market, they start paying me more money, but I was still younger back then, and I didn't know how to teach and facilitate, so I couldn't command the $5,000, nor did I have the sales tools to be able to get that as well. Am I making sense thus far?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If you want to be in the youth market and you have a product for the youth market, in other words, if you feel like you was put on this earth to save kids, which, by the way, Lisa, I haven't heard you say one time, KTR gotta save the kids. I haven't heard you say that to me one time. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Well, some people say to me, yo, bro, we got people on our platform that just got out of prison. Man, I got to go to the hood and do some good like Robin Hood. You know the first thing I tell them? Are you interested in making money or you want to be broke? Because I don't know, Lisa. Is your name Mother Teresa? Do you got an alias that I don't know about? Do you want to walk around the earth and just give away money? Or we want to run a profitable entity? Because in the youth market, what happens typically is that you get serviced out. Most people say, yeah, I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. And then all of a sudden you don't have anything left for yourself. And on top of that, you're not making any money. Now, that's the youth market. You can thrive in there, but I'd say have a product or a book or some type of service where you can make money with kids and serve them at the same time. Other than that, they're going to suck the life's blood out of you. Lisa, am I making sense?
Yeah, so what I hear you saying then is if the goal is to get to the corporate and association meeting planners and decision makers, that's where the word leadership is getting their attention. And then I could still, if I understand you correctly, my product and my focus of my message can be any of those other markets.
Yes, as a secondary, absolutely, but not the primary.
The leadership. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah, and the reason why. Wait, Elise, I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, so that's where, and I'm starting to get the picture here, because that's where the leadership word was tripping me up. When I'm thinking, well, leadership is not going to speak to the minister, but I hear what you're saying now. So in other words, let's just say, just taking the faith one, just because it's right there.
Yeah.
If my messaging is not religion, but it has to do with using your innate God-given spiritual tools and everything.
Right.
If that's the message I'm trying to get across, I still use the leadership type focus to reach the conference coordinators at the corporate and association level whose focus is on that group. Is that right?
It's all in the messaging. So if they watch this, instead of calling it spiritual-based leadership, now, if you're like a yoga instructor, we have these holistic healers and energy alignment experts on our platform. A lot of them use spiritual-based leadership. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I get it. Like, because spirit isn't a religious connotation. Right. Spirit can be, they call the store to go buy alcohol. They call it the wine and spirit store. Right. So a spirit is different.
Right.
But now, I want you to hear me on this, Lisa, because you need to hear this from me so you can understand that it's a graduation a lot of times when you want to connect with these conference coordinators. So the verbiage has got to be real specific. So you could call it innate-based leadership.
Say it again. Call it what?
Innate-based leadership. You said people have an innate ability. That means an inner ability. You want them to help them discover what that innate ability is.
Okay.
Because a lot of them don't know what it is. So you could call it innate-based leadership.
Okay.
You could call it inner-based leadership. Now, you still may be talking about spirituality, but it doesn't really have the religious overtone. And I have to tell a lot of people, now, we have the people that are in the faith-based market. They have to be in the faith-based market. That's what they specialize in. Because we got at least 150 plus people in our coaching program that's a man or woman of clergy. Deacon, bishop, minister, license, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to stay in that market, then I say speak at the mega churches, because the mega churches have the budgets. That's why my dear friend Joel Osteen gets paid $100,000 honorarium when he goes to speak, and you never see him speaking at a small church. Not ever, ever, never. Now, you may see them go do a community outreach, like when I interviewed him and when he was in DC for the Night of Hope that was done in National Stadium. You see him go to a little elementary school where they're doing like a garden project or something, and they're donating and giving back time. See, once you build up your money, then you could do this philanthropic stuff and save the kids and go in and talk to the churches and all that kind of stuff. But building your business, the smaller churches, especially half of the Black churches, are in economic crisis.
Right.
So now you're talking about you're being part of a system. You're either going to get a collection, a love offering, or an honorarium. And this is in part of the problem, because now you're putting yourself in a position where you're allowing them to give you what they want you to have when you don't have your speaker business set up the right way. Now, if I'm not here to tell you, and I let you go into the marketplace, and Lisa says, okay, I got a leadership message for kids, but I got a faith-based message for the churches, but I also want to get some of this corporate money as well. Now we got conflicting messaging, and if you got all of it on the website, now you're looking like a generalist.
Right. Okay.
Government contracting, okay. They're gonna try to keep you around $2,000 to $6,000 a day, normally around the $2,000, because they just want a warm body to service the contract. They're not interested in paying you the highest fee possible. They just want to get the work done. So they don't care about quality. And that's what I learned doing government contracting. Why am I telling you this, Lisa? Because when you get underpaid for years, I was yanking down 12, 15, 20, sometimes $22,000, $25,000 a month doing government contracts. That's how many I was doing. but I'm supposed to be getting paid 40, 50, or 60 a month. Now I'm starting to count up all of the money, and you start looking at adding up all the receipts. Damn, if I just knew better marketing, if I just knew how to get in front of the corporate and association market. Now, I wasn't mad because I was still making a lot of money, but I was supposed to be making more. You start understanding when you have to speak a lot, the goal when you get older in this industry is to speak less and earn more, not the other way around.
Right.
Every market is going to pay you less except for the corporate and association market. And that's my point. Go ahead, Lisa. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, so I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding as I continue to work on these 4 signature programs, where the leadership piece comes in. So I understand you now, and then the focus is underneath that. So I've only watched at your suggestion the orientation video, and then the first one, and then I've been working on the bio, which you sent me back today, and then also the first signature program. So should I, while I'm working on the other signature programs, keep going in module 1?
Yes, anytime the ball is in my court and I have to give you feedback, I'd say go back in and start looking at the videos. Now, I love the direction that you had going for module number 1. Obviously, Lisa, you write beautifully, and that's what you do professionally. I can clearly see that in your writing ability after I gave you some feedback on the first time you sent it to me. So now what we got to do, since you're going in the right direction now,
right?
You now build it out all the way. Now you got to finish the opening paragraph with the 5 additional bullets under there, and then give me the other 3 signature programs.
Okay.
So I can see the variation. So remember, the other market is the college market. There's about 4,000 plus colleges and universities throughout the United States and the U.S. Virgin Islands. What makes the college market work is the activity fee. And that's another trap that we could fall into as well. We could be like, okay, yeah, I want to go speak at colleges. And if you wanted to, you could just strictly focus on the college market, because as long as you have a message that enhances campus life, they'll be on you like white on rice.
Okay.
But to try to, I see the biggest mistake the speakers make, and this is exactly what I used to do. I said I had a youth program, then I had a program for churches. Then I had a government contracting program. Then I had a program for the colleges. Then I had a program for the corporations. You look like the Swiss Army knife of professional speaking. I don't want you to look like that, because I used to look like that, and I didn't have anybody telling me any better. I had to learn the hard way. What I'm saying is focus on the faith, focus on the corporate and association market. Limit your use of any type of biblical or over-the-top spiritual verbiage, because we don't want to cause any friction from a marketing standpoint. We want to get you through the door first. Then you can get in there and talk about, hey, your spirit this. You got it?
Yeah. So, okay. So that brought up another question. I might be overthinking it, but so if on the first one that I'm working on, now I'm clear on where the word leadership comes in.
Right.
But since there's supposed to be 4 distinctive programs, and they may appeal to the different sub-markets, so would one of my other 3 signature programs then be one that, beyond the title, is geared towards the college market underneath that, meaning that that's still going to the corporate and association level meeting planners? Mm-hmm. Who may be planning a conference or convention for the college market. And it might be college professors, or it might be college, the people who are planning events for their colleges. Do you understand my question?
Yes. Okay. So here's what you got to do. Remember, so when you're marketing yourself to the corporate and association market, you may very well be speaking at a conference. And then somebody from the audience may say, hey, Lisa, we want you to come speak at our church. Now, if they have a budget to pay you, of course you're going to go speak at the church. I'm not telling you don't do it. I'm just saying that your outbound outreach should be going to a specific target buyer. But this is how your speaker business starts growing, like a bag of microwave popcorn. Because there may be somebody in the audience that is this happens all the time. Hey, Kevin, we saw, I loved your presentation. Listen, I'm the athletic director at Bennett College. You think you might want to come in and talk to our team or our athletic department? Sure, we can talk about it. And what I may do is, it's a strategy in module 2 called block bookings. And what you do is, if you're taking a gig for $2,500 at a college, you may want to call 3 or 4 other corporations up and see if they want to do an add-on to the tour. And now they're paying you, you're picking up 3 other businesses times $5,000. So I'll take that $2,500 from Bennett College, because that's just some gas money. You see what I'm saying? You got to be smart about how you hustle your speaker business, but make the corporate and association market the primary, and make your marketing language leadership. See, leadership is generic. It's all, in other words, leadership will work across multiple platforms, but it's still leadership.
Okay.
And watch this. If I want to have a program, you know what I'll say? I have a youth leadership development program, and then the leadership program is for the youth market. I could develop a spiritual or faith-based program just for the churches, but it's still leadership. I can do a leadership model for the government contracting, under management, under frontline employees. I could do it for the college market. There is a leadership head or chair or somebody who books leadership speakers all the time for the college market, at the conference level and at the collegiate level, boots on the ground right at the university. And then you have the leadership speaker that's in the corporate and association market. Those are the ones that typically get hired on site. Like one of my past clients is Hanes Brand. They have the most beautiful white, their training room is all white. It looks like it's like you in the Millennium Falcon at Star Wars. It's amazing. They got the drop down screens. I mean, it's beautiful in there. Then they're going to want to hire you for a half day or full day program. Then you got the side of where you will be speaking to associations. Now there is an association for everything you can imagine. So leadership is very broad, because the conference coordinator basically is going to bring in a leadership speaker, unless it's like a dental conference.
Right.
That may not be a good fit for you, unless they're just looking for somebody who wants to speak about leadership, but they're typically going to hire an industry expert to come in and speak at those micro niche conferences. And there's plenty of work to go around for speakers all the way around the board.
Okay.
So I
think.
Say it again.
No, I'll say, I think I'm getting where you're going with this. Again, I think I've just been overthinking it as far as a leadership word, but I think I understand you now. And then once I see the feedback you gave me, and then keep going down the modules, I think it will click right in.
Exactly. Yeah. Believe me, I according to what you sent me and I read it, the verbiage is very strong and I felt confident about it. So look at my notes and then just build out the rest of them. Trust your gut, speak from your experience. You know about leadership and you know about life. You don't have to use the word spiritual or biblical or nothing like that to get your point across.
Got it. Okay.
You know what you're talking about, and I'm confident in that. You're a high-level business professional, Lisa. You've been doing what you've been doing a very, very long time, and there's value in your words. Choose the words and speak from your heart. Let me see the very best of what you got to offer and send it over to me, and let's polish it up into a diamond.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, love you. Be safe on your travels. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me see. You're very welcome. Let me see. I think Terry had a question. Let me see. No. Let me see. Lower the hand for Lisa and mute Lisa. I believe. Wait. Give me a second, everybody. Terry, you still logged in? Is she logged in? Yay. No. Yes, Terry's logged in. Terry, you can come back if you like. And Wayne, I'll be right with you. Just let me address a couple of things in the chat box real quick. Okay, so Terry, you can either log back in or I can answer it. Okay, got signed out with a question. Okay, she says she'll watch the recording on the follow-up. Okay, Terry's back. Okay, Terry.
Yeah, no, right after I asked the question, I got logged out. So I was like, I don't know if you answered the question on there, and I can just watch the replay, which I'm totally fine with. And I pretty much got my answer. The question about spirituality, yes, and talking about God, because a lot of the, the alignment and intuition comes from, connecting to God's voice and not God power within.
It does.
So Yeah, so I was
does.
just curious on not talking about religion, but if it's still okay to talk about God. I know some people say universe, divine
Yeah.
energy, so I'm just kind of curious on what your thoughts are around that.
Unless you are in the faith-based market, then you could say God this, spiritual this, Romans 12:8 this, quoting scriptures and Bible verses. It's just friction. See, okay, look at it from the level of the conference coordinator. If I start talking about religion, if I open up the Pandora's box right now and I start talking about religion on this call right now, everybody has a different kind of opinion about God. And in my opinion, ain't nobody right about it. We all have our opinion. So whatever your belief is, that's cool. And I'm okay with whatever I believe. But the conference coordinator doesn't want to put up with confusion. And they are not going to let you divide their audience in half just because you're so strong about your belief. So they're thinking, you know what? I don't mind them pushing us to the limit and teaching us something, but I don't need controversy.
So should I say power within instead of like saying God, or like, because that's a lot of what I teach and talk about is connecting, like being guided, letting your intuition. So maybe I should just say intuition or power within instead of just saying the word God.
Yes,
and I'm not going to talk about Jesus, but
right. Those are exactly. But see, when you say God or Jesus, then it gets religious. I know what you're talking about. I know you want some divine alignment, some spiritual. I get it. And I'm all one with the universe and all of that. I get, but my job is to make sure you have the proper marketing language before you show it to the conference coordinator. Now, that means that it has to be dripping with value. So you're still going to be able to talk. Watch this, Terry. Here's what's going to happen anyway. They're going to see God in the universe in you when you're speaking. And I guarantee you come off the platform, they're going to walk over to you and say, I got that thing, Terry, that you said, that takeaway that I said. And then you can talk about God when you get off the platform to that person or those people in the line that is making a connection. And the whole reason why your message is bringing them to you is because you can get more to talk about God with them off camera. Now, unless you are in the faith-based market, if you're not, you have to use your words very strategically to get you through the door. This is what a lot of speakers don't understand. I suffer from this mightily when I was in my early 20s. You know how it is. You go to church, you get saved. You got your idea of what you think religion and God is and Jesus and everything. And somebody is talking to you about it, but you really don't know about it. Well, I'm not an expert in that category. I'm doing the best I can. All I know is I like the right kind of energy and I like the vibe. And you can call that whatever it is that you want. But when it comes to the conference coordinator, we don't want to piss them off and just make them.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just wanted to, with the language, just see what was like good language and not good language. So no God, no, just talk about, like intuition. That's kind of a term that's acceptable.
Watch this. Intuition, insights. Now, another thing you can do, come up with all words that mean inner. Go and look them up on a dictionary. Look at the synonyms, look at the antonyms, look at alternative language and describe your signature programs from that standpoint. And another thing too, Terry, to put a cherry on top of it, you want to help people understand how they can succeed in business and in life. And that kind of marketing language is going to resonate with the conference coordinator. And that's the whole reason why they want to bring you in to speak. Now, if you tell them, if you start talking about your story and talk about how getting my spirit in alignment helped me see my goals more clear, and this turned me into a better employee or a better business owner, then you can talk about that after you get hired. You get on stage to speak. But don't worry, I'll be monitoring it. Again, Terry, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Lisa. You are a high-powered business professional, and I know you know what you're talking about. You have to speak from your heart. Just get the idea out first, then send it over to me and let me polish it up into a diamond. I will tell you that this is not going to work in front of the conference coordinator based upon the market. Now, what market are you trying to hit?
I want to get, the big corporations, if that's where the money's at. I would say churches, but that's not going to take me anywhere. So yeah, intuition-based leadership is kind of what stands out to me the most. So teaching,
Yeah, everybody wants to go speak at the churches. So my question is, why do you want to go speak at churches? What do you think? Something is in there. You're missing something. You need something from them. Something you don't have. I mean, I just
No,
want to
I
know.
mean,
Why.
no, I think it's the church because, I mean, I guess I don't really need to speak to church because I mean, they know God if they're at church already. But I mean, part of my mission is I want to, like share the message of God, like, and let everyone know that, God's within them. And because of that, they can create because they have that creative power.
Okay, I understand that. But Terry, watch this. I've seen so many people. I want you to listen to me very carefully. I've seen so many people go broke in this industry because they're so strong-minded about their beliefs. We all have an uncontrollable desire to be right all the time. This ain't about being right or wrong. This is about creating the right kind of marketing language that's going to work to the conference coordinator. It's not about what you think. And strong-mindedness and your beliefs is going to get you in the broke house.
Yeah. No, I just want to tell you where I was coming from, but I mean, I want to make money, first of all. And so the churches don't have it. So I get it.
I understand that. And I'm just doing my job of what you invested in yourself and us for is to make sure that you have the proper kind of marketing language. So again, once you get the ideas out, then we could come up with it's so many different word sequences that you can use to describe what it is that you do without saying God.
Yeah, no, that's kind of all I wanted to hear. But
Terry,
I want you God.
Terry, I got the God in the universe in me every single second of the day. I know that these creative gifts, I'm smart enough to be able to know that it doesn't come from me. This is something way bigger than me. I get that. But now I just make sure that whatever it is in my beliefs are, look, the bottom line is with the conference coordinator, you can't force your beliefs on them because they're not having it.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
It's a trust factor. That's really what it is. Because watch this, your job is to reinforce the goals of their event, whatever theme that they're having. Now, if they're having a spiritual theme and they want to bring you as a leadership speaker, there's all kinds of ways that you can fit in with your messaging and you can tweak it and customize it. But you got to understand what the mission is for the event. And then you should tailor your message to that. But everybody is a leadership speaker at the end of the day. I don't care what you speak about. That's what they book and that's what they hire.
Okay.
You got it?
All right. Yeah. No, definitely noted. Thank you.
All right. You're very welcome. I'm looking forward to looking at your submissions for your signature programs. Okay, let me see. All right. Tina Marie says reflective based. Tina Marie, could you elaborate a little bit on that if you're still on this session? When you say reflective based, what do you mean by that? If you're still on this session. All right. So Michelle Arnold said, thank you. That's my question. Okay. Michelle says she's going to get to work on her next assignment. That's what I'm talking about. Action, 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 ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's all about. So let me see. Let me lower Terry's hand and Wayne, you're up next with KTR. Wayne, I apologize. Eileen was actually up next. She was before you. Please be patient. Thank you so much, sir. Eileen?
Hi, I wanted to know if you had gotten the audio that I sent for the gatekeepers.
Audio. Did you send me, was that a practice video of one of your signature programs?
It was just to practice audio. It wasn't for the signature programs. It was to talk to the gatekeepers.
Okay. Now, did you text that or did you email it? Because I haven't listened to it because I believe that you sent me something, but I couldn't open it or something. What kind of file did you send me?
I texted twice, and so it wasn't email, it was text.
Let me see. Let me check. Hold on for a second. I'm checking right now.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Hi, are you looking to make your job easier?
I got it right here, Eileen. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I got it. I could open up the file. I thought you emailed it to me and I might have missed it, but I got it. Let me listen to it and let me give you some feedback on it tonight.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Hey, Eileen, real quick. Remember, you have great tonality in your voice and you know what you're talking about. So I'm not even worried about your speaking ability. I never have been from day one. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be great. Remember, we need to focus on the marketing with you. We don't want to put a bunch of time into stuff that we know you're already amazing at. And that's the speaking part and the knowledge part. Okay. Let me help you out with the market so we can get you on that stage so you can start earning some money. All right.
Do I need to set an appointment with you to talk about that? Because the website is what I'm working on right now. And so while waiting for that, I did that. I want to make sure I'm using the correct verbiage.
Okay. I will tell this to anybody. The best way to get a response from me that I can hold you accountable is to send me a detailed email and send me proof of what you're doing. Then I can send the email back and tell you this is, excuse me, this is what we need to be doing.
Okay. Well, if you give me feedback on that, I'd appreciate it.
I sure will.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, love you much. Have a great evening.
You too.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Is anybody else? No. Let me see. AD. Yes, I did get I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Eileen just now. AD, I've never been worried about your ability to speak and deliver content at a very, very high level. It's all in being able to finish up the marketing material, sir. So I believe you should have got an email from me for all the sales tools. So I did like the way your signature programs were flowing. Wayne, if you're still there, I'll be right with you. Is Wayne there? Let's allow. Wayne, are you there? I just hit the allow to talk button. Wayne, are you there?
No, Coach, I accidentally hit the button.
Oh, you hit the raise hand by accident. Okay.
I accidentally hit it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get to Anthony. Anthony, if you're still there, can you if you can talk, I just hit the allow to talk. Anthony, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on, boss?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing super fantastic. How's Shar doing?
She's doing all right, getting through some back issues, but we're getting there. So
okay, good.
Getting everything together, but I'm back in the saddle now.
Okay, good. Send my love to her. So look, AD, this is what we need to do with you. Obviously the video was outstanding. You're a voiceover specialist, you're a consummate professional and a strong executive. Your leadership skills are superior before you even came into the coaching program. Just like a lot of people on our platform, AD, you've been dealing with a lot of distractions because you've been on the grind and you've been making things happen. So glad that you're back in the saddle doing things. What we got to do is we got to really, really focus on finalizing your sales tools like the speaker video demo, which I love. The value that you had in there for the conference coordinators, obviously, I'm not even worried about you being able to deliver as far as that's concerned. What I am concerned about and what we got to do is we got to make up for some lost ground. We got to make sure we get the final speaker video demo complete, the speaker info kit, and whatever the website updates we need to for you. That's what we need to do. So tell me what your plan is to get those things complete.
I've given myself by the first week in June to get everything completed.
Okay, now that email that I sent you with all the checklists and all that, you got that, correct?
I think I did. I'll check again. I haven't seen it though.
All right. Do me a favor. Send me a message and say, hey, KTR, send me all this stuff. I just need to make sure that you have all the checklists, and I don't want you to miss it on the platform. All this stuff is inside the platform, but I'll send you the email because these are the things I need you to focus on because I need you to get the module 5 AD so you can start the free organic outreach strategy to start connecting with these conference coordinators.
Gotcha.
And all the outreach templates that you're going to need. I need to make sure that you have all that stuff finalized and incorporate that in your short timeline and just hold your head down and just get it all complete. And then we can start booking you some engagements. Okay.
Good. I'm in the grind. I got you.
Okay, boss. Talk to you real soon.
All right.
Okay, man. Okay, everyone. We got success happening all over the place right now. And I absolutely love it when, again, you have busy professionals who are successful. Anthony is another example of a gentleman on this platform that is an executive at what he does. He has amazing tonality in his voice. He's a voiceover specialist, and just got so much respect for people that's like that, because their lives are very involved. And this is a hard potato to hold in your hand when it gets hot. When you have the gift of speaking, you know, it's not easy to just sit there. Let me see. I gotta mute. Okay, I muted him. All right, yeah, this is a hot potato to have in your hand when you got the gift of speaking. And you know, because what we want to do as speakers, we just want to speak. We just want to talk. We just want to participate in the activity that makes us feel good. And the stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable is the marketing and everything that you're not sure about how to handle. I don't promise it to you. I guarantee you. Everything I'm telling you right now is for your best benefit later down the line, because when you have to start dealing with the conference coordinator, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You have to break the cycle of your own thinking. A lot of you don't understand how these conference coordinators operate. These conference coordinators some of them act like the mob. They think as thieves. They all talk to each other. They can either ignite your career or they can set it on fire, and you'll crash and burn like the Hindenburg. It's important that you understand how to service the conference coordinator and meeting planner or key decision maker or board member. It's so many people that just want to go right to start booking the speaking engagements. As you can see, it doesn't work like that. And I'm talking about, you got business professionals like, you know, Anthony Davis, Terry. These are all high-level business professionals. These people already had success way before they came on our platform. They're doing their thing. And if they can take the time to get in there, and we all lose focus. I don't care who it is, even me. I have some weeks that I'm super highly effective, and I'm like, man, it's like I'm plowing through my goals like a hot knife through butter. And then I got some weeks where I'm struggling to find my focus, struggling to find myself, thinking about me having to lose weight. What am I eating? Sometimes some days it's too much for me, and I got to unplug. I got to stop and start. But one thing about it is I wake up every single day. When I start getting in that fog, you better have a person you can call to get you out of it. You better have a system that you can follow to get you out of it. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. And you have to hold on to the belief that it will. But you thinking that you understand the conference coordinator, it's a mistake. Can you really say that you're an expert like I am at managing the conference coordinator? And if that's a no, then you got to do the work. You got to put forth the effort. With that being said, if anybody doesn't have any other calls, I'm going to shut down the session for tonight. I'm going to give you about another 30 seconds to another minute as I'm doing my close. Keep in mind, it's not going to jump into your lap. You got to constantly put your speaker business in position to win for long-term success. Play the long game. That's what this is all about. So as you're going through these processes and these systems, as you're learning these techniques, as you are building your speaker brand, think about the unique situation that you're in. Think about the positioning and the timing of where we are with your messaging being scattered out to literally broadcast out to hundreds of thousands of people every single day just through your social media. Focus on the effort. I need more effort. Whenever I'm not going in a direction that I'm going in, I need more effort. I need more effort on the right things. So there's very specific things that I'm trying to focus on. When I'm focusing on sales tools, I need to be real specific about those sales tools. So I close every other window. I block out everything else. I only looking at stuff on my desk that has something to do with my sales tools. When I'm focusing on writing copy, all I focus on is writing copy. Why do I have the TV on? I can't concentrate. What am I thinking about? How is my message going to connect with the conference coordinator or my target audience or my target buyer or my target market? You have to become skilled at understanding consumer behavior. What consumer am I most concerned about? The conference coordinator. I know everything about the conference coordinator. If they got 1,000 characteristics, I got every single 1,000 characteristic memorized. If they can act, if they can show me or respond to me in a certain kind of ways, I've been through it so many times, I know exactly what they're going to say before they even say it. I know what it feels like when you start getting ready to get a booking. When you're getting ready to get a speaking engagement, I know exactly what it feels like. Just like I know who's serious or who's not serious in this coaching program. I can tell by the way they're talking to me. I literally can close my eyes. I don't need to be able to see what's in front of me. I see up here. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Thank you. Lisa says, excellent call. Hearing some of the repeat, some of the same things every week is actually starting gel. That's right. That's right. That's what this is about. I'm gonna keep talking about the same thing every single week because people got to deal with the same problems. Every one of our students has got we all got to go through the same thing. I had to go through it. You got to go through it. You're very welcome, Lisa. See, this is what I really appreciate most about people who, again, Lisa can write her ass off. It ain't no other way to say it. She's a professional at writing. And when you can write that good, I already knew when she was going to send me her signature programs, I already knew it was going to make me feel good. I already knew it because she got skills. Now, when she takes her skill and put it into the formula, which is what she's doing, she said it 2-3 weeks ago, she first started. Now it's starting to sink in. See, this is the reason why I'm here every single Monday to help you out. Because if you hear me every Monday, I customize it based upon the person who I'm answering the question for, but there's a way in which I go about answering the question. The system, the techniques, the strategies, the steps, the tools, they don't ever change. This is a predictable and consistent way to earn revenue as a professional speaker. The thing that changes is the number on my check. It's getting higher and higher. The things that change is the audience that I'm servicing. Things that changes are the things that's going to be, just things going to be written on the pre-programmed questionnaire prior to me doing my research. But when you service thousands of people like I have, everybody starts sounding the same. Everybody got the same problems, and I'm the problem solver. See, look at your signature programs like you solve problems. That's what you really do. Conference coordinator has no use for you if you can't help them get to a whole nother level. If they could do what you're doing, why am I paying you $5,000? But you can't do what I do. That's why you pay me $50,000. Now, think about that. I want you to be empowered with this kind of confidence. This is what happens when you have supreme confidence. It's the highest form of confidence you can have in your skills and your abilities. When you start, this is why you should be saying your signature programs out loud every single day, 3 to 5 times every single day. Do you have command over your content? Yes or no? There's no in the middle. Yes means when you say it to me, that I'm going to be vibing with you. I'm going to be flowing. It's going to make sense what you're saying. If you don't have command over your content, you're going to be in trouble, not only with me, but I'm not even going to let you show that to the conference coordinator because I'm going to tell you this is weak. You need to practice more. But send me the videos anyway, because we all have to grow, including myself. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for results. See, that's the difference with some of you. Some of you are looking for perfection. That's why you still haven't sent it over to me yet. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for results. Just get this homework assignment done. Get the activity going. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see anybody else with a raised hand. So on behalf of the staff at speakerfocus.com and CTO Auston Troyer, I am Kevin T. Robertson, America's leading focus expert on the world's #1 platform for speaker marketing. Man, is it a whole lot of good things happening right now. There is a shift. There are beautiful things happening in the world of professional speaking. Markets are starting to open up. More opportunities are being created online and offline. And there is a growth explosion in this industry. You better come in and get some, everybody. Terri, thank you for participating. As always, I appreciate all the kind words and great comments, everyone. If you got any homework assignments, please send it over to me so me and the team can check it. All right. I love you. I'll see you next week.